Plato warned, "The greatest deception is self-deception." He revealed how men live in shadows, mistaking them for reality, and how this blinds us to our own soul. In his works, Plato shows the soul torn between reason and desire, a battle most never win. If you dare to face the light of truth about yourself, Plato's philosophy is the path, the hidden wisdom of Plato. Stay to uncover why true freedom begins with mastering your own mind. Plato never offered simple advice on life or love. He exposed the deepest affliction, ignorance of the forces ruling our mind. Recall the famous allegory of the cave in the Republic. Prisoners chained in darkness, convinced shadows are the true world. They worship these illusions, build entire lives upon deceptions projected by unseen powers. Plato teaches that most will resist truth when it shines. They fight to preserve comforting shadows. In Phaedrus, the soul is a chariot pulled by two horses, one noble, seeking truth and discipline, the other wild, craving pleasure and temptation. The charioteer, reason, must constantly struggle to control these opposing forces within us. When the soul fails to govern itself, it falls, dragged by unchecked desires into confusion and bondage. In the Republic, Plato divides the soul into three. Reason seeks wisdom, spirit honor, appetite, pleasure, and comfort. Most live dominated by appetite, chasing fleeting pleasures while reason and spirit are enslaved. Plato declared, "The beginning of wisdom is admitting ignorance." True knowledge starts when we recognize our own blindness. The worst deception is self-deception, believing we are rational when desires rule unchecked. In the Symposium, love is described as divine madness, a frenzy from the gods that blinds and consumes. This madness can elevate the soul toward the eternal forms, or drag it into ruin if reason does not guide it. When desire overpowers reason, the soul mistakes earthly beauty for the true good, and worships shadows instead of light. The philosopher ascends from the cave, first blinded by truth, then enlightened, seeing reality as it is. He beholds the forms, the eternal truths beyond the changing world of senses. In Gorgias, Plato states, "It is better to suffer injustice than to commit it, because committing injustice proves lack of mastery over desires. The one who acts unjustly harms his own soul most. He becomes a slave to his lower impulses." In Phaedo, the soul takes on the character of the pursuits it followed in life. Chasing pleasures makes it petty and small. A soul fixated on bodily desires becomes heavy, dragged down, unfit for the realm of truth. In the Laws, Plato warns that cities fall when pleasure rules over discipline. The same happens to the individual soul. When men allow appetite to dominate, harmony is destroyed, both in the city and in the self. The ideal ruler is the philosopher king, one who has seen the truth and governs himself first. Justice in the soul is each part performing its proper function, reason ruling, spirit aiding, appetite controlled. When reason holds the reins firmly, the soul ascends toward the divine, free from chaos. The enlightened one returns to the cave to free others, yet faces ridicule and resistance. True freedom is not escape from the cave. It is mastery over the illusions within one's own mind. Look into the mirror Plato provides. See which part of your soul truly rules, and correct it with reason. Break the chains of unchecked desire. Only then can the soul fly toward truth. The good is like the sun. It illuminates all truth and makes the soul capable of seeing reality. Know thyself, the Delphic maxim. Plato echoes, "Self-knowledge is the foundation of all virtue." The just soul is harmonious. No part rebels against another. Mastery of self brings the soul closest to the divine, eternal, unchanging, free. When reason prevails, shadows lose their power. The prisoner no longer fears the light. The philosopher lives between worlds, guiding others while contemplating the eternal. Balance is not a quality. It is reason's rightful supremacy over lower parts. The soul grows upward when rooted in virtue and guided by wisdom. Freedom begins within. No external force can chain a soul that rules itself. Contemplation of the good purifies the soul, making it just, wise, and courageous. The harmonious soul dances to the rhythm of reason. No discord remains. The philosopher's duty is to return and illuminate, even if the cave rejects the light. Choose which reflection you will become, the slave of shadows or the master of light. Ascend through discipline, the path Plato carved for any soul willing to follow. No one is born free. Freedom is earned by conquering the lower self. The purified soul joins the eternal order, immortal and at peace. The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates' words, echoed by Plato as the call to awaken. One awakened soul can spark the liberation of many, if courage prevails. Truth is not hidden. It waits for the soul brave enough to seek it. Stand at the threshold. Choose the light over the familiar darkness. Become the philosopher. Rule your soul, and the shadows will never rule you again. The just man rules himself with reason, aligning actions with truth, not temptation. Harmony of the soul is achieved when reason governs, spirit supports, and appetite obeys. Face the mirror Plato offers. See your soul undisguised, undisciplined appetites, fragile illusions, and choose to master them. Rise from shadows to light. Govern yourself first. Only then are you truly free. If Plato's truth stirred your soul, like this video, comment which part of your soul rules you today, and subscribe. Join those who choose reason over shadows.